Do you regret ever getting involved in...
I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years old.
Help me raise $100,000 as soon as I can so I can move to an undisclosed location where I am safe. They had cops come and check for a rope in my garage, saying I wanted to hang myself.
And she eventually said, look, they are little people who should not be at an adult party.
We intend to name people in these lawsuits. We're not going to do it in interviews. We're not going to do it without doing our due diligence, because obviously, these types of allegations are very hurtful to people.
And of those 8, how many seemed to be potentially minors?
2 to 3, possibly 3.
More than 25 new lawsuits have reportedly been filed, detailing serious allegations of sexual abuse involving Sean Diddy Combs, claims that have sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry. As the cases mount, A-list figures like 50 Cent are speaking out, reigniting intense scrutiny over long-rumored power dynamics and alleged exploitation of young artists. Allegations circulating online and in interviews claim that vulnerable child stars, including Justin Bieber and Aaron Carter at extremely young ages, were exposed to disturbing environments within the industry. Now, as Hollywood's darkest corners are pulled into the light, what many are calling the scandal of the century continues to unfold. Stay with us as we break down 50 Cent's recent interview, explore the claims surrounding Aaron Carter, and examine the growing controversy that's forcing the music industry to confront uncomfortable questions it can no longer ignore.
On my Twitter, and I see people saying, you look like you have AIDS, you should go die. I don't understand how I dedicated 22 years of my life to my fans, and now they turn on me.
Do you regret ever getting involved in...
I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years.
Aaron Carter rose to fame at an astonishingly young age, releasing his self-titled debut album at just 9 years old and quickly becoming one of the most recognizable child stars of his generation. On the surface, his future looked unstoppable. By some accounts, he was earning hundreds of millions of dollars and poised to become a lasting music icon. But behind the spotlight, a far darker story was allegedly unfolding. Reports and interviews have suggested that Aaron was caught in an industry plagued by unchecked exploitation and abuse, where vulnerable young stars were left exposed and unprotected. Allegedly, even those closest to him, including his own parents, were aware of his escalating mental health struggles and the abuse he endured, yet failed to intervene. The contrast between his meteoric success and his private suffering reveals a tragic pattern that continues to raise troubling questions about Hollywood's treatment of child stars.
Aaron Carter begged for help in front of the world. He begged for financial support to help get him a private security team to keep him alive. He said on numerous occasions, if anything happens to me, I promise you, I am not titled. And no one said anything.
Silence breaker for my brother, who is a artist, and they're after my life. My whole family is after my life, and they're setting me up. And Sony Records owes me $3.5 million, and they don't want to pay me, and it would be in their better interest, just like Michael told me. They owe me money, and they're trying to off. And I'm begging you and I'm pleading you, help me raise $100,000 as soon as I can so I can move to an undisclosed location where I am safe. They had cops come and check for a rope in my garage, saying I wanted to hang myself.
According to accounts that have surfaced over the years, one of the few people who truly understood Aaron Carter's struggle was Justin Bieber. Justin had risen to fame at a similarly young age and, by his own admissions in past interviews, faced intense pressures and damaging experiences within the industry, giving him unique insight into what Aaron was enduring. Justin signed with Scooter Braun at just 13 years old, and his rapid ascent placed him directly inside Hollywood's most powerful inner circles, guided early on by mentor Usher. Critics and commentators have long argued that this system often fails to protect child stars, instead exposing them to environments they are not equipped to navigate. In that context, Justin Bieber and Aaron Carter are frequently cited as tragic examples of young talent allegedly exploited by an industry that prioritizes profit over protection, an industry many believe has allowed abuse to persist unchecked for decades.
I was flown out to Atlanta by a manager. His name's Scooter Braun. Flown out to Atlanta just to meet with him and meet different producers and different people. I was actually going to meet Jermaine Dupri at his studio. And who rolls up? Usher in his Range Rover. Yeah, rolls up, and I was like, "Is that who I think it is?" And Scooter was like, "Yeah." And so I ran up to him and I was like, Usher, I love your songs. You want me to sing you one? And he was like, let's just go inside, little buddy. It's cold out. So the politest possible way he could say no, he did. And I was like, wow, he just turned me down. And I was a little disappointed. He had to go into a studio session, so I was like, whatever. And a week later, he actually watched my videos with my manager and was like, oh my gosh, why didn't I let him sing? So flew me back to Atlanta where I got to meet him again. And he wanted to sign me. But there was something else.
Justin Timberlake, right?
Yes, Justin Timberlake also wanted to sign me. It was like kind of like, what happened was Justin Timberlake and Usher both went into a ring and boxed it out. And the outcome was Usher. I think it was a TK.
According to claims that continue to circulate online, Sean Diddy Combs was reportedly granted temporary access to Justin Bieber for a 48-hour period in 2009, a moment many critics now point to as deeply troubling in hindsight. Ever since, observers have speculated about the lasting impact that time may have had on the young star, though no verified details have ever been publicly confirmed. What has fueled even more suspicion are moments captured on camera years later, including an interview where Justin appeared to begin referencing that period before being abruptly cut off on live television, a moment that left viewers unsettled. Adding to the controversy, some fans point to footage showing Justin visibly shaken during an encounter with Diddy, interpreting his body language as fear or discomfort after being pressed for personal contact information. While these moments remain open to interpretation, they've become part of a growing narrative that continues to raise disturbing questions about power, silence, and what may have happened behind closed doors.
We become friends in a strange way, you know?
Like Robin Big.
Yeah, it's like... Exactly.
I'm big and you're Rob.
Yeah. No, I mean, to a lot of us, he's like a little brother. You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to call and ask for advice. He's somebody that, in the industry-wise, the record industry is a strong family, and he's somebody that, you know, we definitely have our arms around, and we want to protect him because he's such genuinely a nice person. Besides his talent, you know what I'm saying? He's one of the greatest kids that you could ever know.
Justin, you know, Diddy bought his son a Bentley. Maybe, you know, he could buy you one also while you're out.
He got me a Lamborghini.
Oh, well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last
He
time.
had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Certainly not. Some things, everything ain't for everybody.
What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, young brother, everything's good?
Everything's
Selling
great.
out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, you know, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got my number, so.
Correct. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah.
What Justin Bieber and Aaron Carter allegedly endured was never their fault. They were children, young, vulnerable, and entirely dependent on the adults around them to provide protection and guidance. Instead of safeguarding them, critics argue that some of the very people entrusted with their well-being failed them, or worse, placed them in harm's way. Allegations have long circulated that Usher played a key role in introducing Justin Bieber to Sean Diddy Combs, a connection that many now view as deeply troubling in hindsight. Commentators claim that without those introductions and access, Diddy would never have been in a position to allegedly exploit Justin. Whether proven or not, these claims underscore a disturbing pattern, one where power, influence, and silence repeatedly outweighed a child's right to safety.
Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler.
According to long-standing allegations and resurfaced interviews, Usher may have been part of a cycle that began with his own childhood experiences. When Usher was just 13 years old, he was reportedly sent to live with Sean Diddy Combs at what was known as Flavor Camp. In Usher's own words from past interviews, that environment exposed him to adult situations and sexual behavior he was far too young to understand or process at the time. Critics now argue that those early experiences may have shaped a troubling pattern that carried forward years later. But what has shocked many observers the most is a statement Usher later made involving his own son and Diddy, a comment that has reignited intense scrutiny and raised disturbing questions about how deeply this alleged cycle may run.
To New York City. And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you
New
over
York
to
City.
something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what it
Camp.
was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s. Do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I
Come
mean,
on.
but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't necessarily understand it.
Uh-huh.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans.
your parents
Jodeci,
were
Mary J.
okay?
Blige. They didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time. You know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And what do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem. Yeah, I had like,
What
like
a
a living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
According to allegations and online speculation, the troubling dynamics surrounding Usher did not simply disappear as he entered adulthood. Instead, critics point out that Usher and Sean Diddy Combs remained closely connected for years, continuing to appear together within elite industry circles. Leaked footage from a past Diddy-hosted party has fueled renewed scrutiny, showing the two interacting in ways some viewers have found unsettling. Adding to the controversy, a widely circulated clip captures Diddy making an on-camera remark that many interpreted as a shocking admission about a sexual encounter involving Usher, a statement that has since been debated, contextualized, and disputed. While the full truth behind these moments remains unclear, their resurfacing has intensified questions about boundaries, power, and relationships that may have extended far beyond what the public was ever meant to see.
We want to thank you. Come here. Don't sit on the bed at night. No homo. No, just don't get close to the bed. Don't get close. But it's just like, we want to thank you for hosting the thing, man. It's been a pleasure. You didn't have to do it, and you did it.
No. I definitely didn't have to do it. I definitely didn't have to. First and foremost, I'm not getting in the bed. Shout out to him and what he did. I'm just gonna, if we can, let's just put the camera a little this way, just so we're not. I don't want my shot to even. I don't want it to come close to the bed at all. Usher look like he fresh off a goddamn plane. Usher.
Fresh off the garden stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like that's how. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early with me. And now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And
What the fuck did Puff just say? Nobody's gonna acknowledge this but me. Puff just said we used to wrestle over the Frosted Flakes, and we're streaming live. That was stupid. Listen, that was fucking stupid.
Listen, having a good time.
This is not being dismissed as a harmless joke. For years, rumors have circulated about an intimate relationship between Usher and Sean Diddy Combs, fueled by repeated claims from individuals who say they were close to both men. Those allegations resurfaced most recently on an episode of The Art of Dialogue, where Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard and head of security, shared disturbing accusations from his time inside Diddy's inner circle. Deal alleged that he personally witnessed a pattern of grooming involving Usher, claiming Diddy exploited his power and influence for what he described as deeply troubling and self-serving purposes. While these claims remain disputed and unproven, their reemergence has intensified scrutiny and added another unsettling layer to an already explosive controversy.
How dare you say a man that groomed you, you gonna give him a pass? Bro, you know I know. Let me reframe you on something. Remember Usher? We was at the Swiss Hotel. Puff had Kim in the room. Had one of Keith Sweat's baby mothers in the big room outside the master bedroom. He came outside in his robe. She gave him a fellatio right there. His back was turned to me. She gave him a fellatio. You knocked on the door. I came and opened the door for you. Puff went in the room. You came in the room and kissed that girl dead in her mouth. Now I'm telling that because you taking up for somebody that you know and a lot of more people know didn't do you right when you was at Diddy camp.
Interview 9. As we peel back the layers and venture deeper into this maze of deception, a chilling pattern begins to emerge. Victims appear at every turn, including some of the biggest A-list names in Hollywood, people the world once believed were untouchable. In that context, the long-standing silence suddenly makes sense. When power, fame, and fear collide, truth is often buried. But the question remains, how far do these lies really go, and who is the true mastermind behind this disturbing tragedy?
People have been trying to drag Justin Bieber into this situation because there's a lot of like suspect looking videos with Diddy and Bieber in it, and you know they're making a lot of allegations.
Mm-hmm. Same way they made allegations about Usher when Usher was younger.
I mean, do you think that there's any credibility to these allegations?
When there's smoke, there's fire. Why would Diddy be tapping his kid in his chest to see if he wired? And asking him, are you wired? Why would he be confronting that kid? Why would Justin Bieber make a song about, what is it? I got smashed at a Diddy party or something like that? Why? There's reasons behind all this. So where there's smoke, there's fire, Cam. I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah, Justin, he's been real quiet about this. I mean, I think like a lot of the other celebrities.
I was reading some, Cam, and the kids say after he went to Diddy camp, he started using drugs so heavy and was smashed every day. What would cause a kid who wanted to be an artist in the music business all of a sudden to start getting high and drinking and drugging, popping pills and smoking? What would cause a kid to do that?
I mean, usually trauma.
Or a Diddy party.
Welcome to the family, John.
New reports are emerging almost daily, and the most alarming claims yet involve alleged recordings said to have been made by Sean Diddy Combs that are now circulating online. After one disputed tape involving other high-profile figures began trending, additional materials were rumored to have surfaced, prompting intense scrutiny across social media and entertainment news circles. Some online sources claim that multiple recordings allegedly involve Diddy and underage individuals, though these assertions remain unproven and fiercely contested. While certain outlets have reported on the existence of alleged materials, no verified public confirmation of their contents has been released, and investigations, both formal and informal, are still unfolding. Even so, the mere possibility of such evidence has sent shockwaves through the industry, pushing this controversy into an entirely new and deeply disturbing phase.
I want to start with Tania Wallace, who claims she's been at a freak-off and said she saw children, and it was hard for her to say it.
It was very hard for her to say it, Ashley. So what she said was that she was flown out from LA to Miami by the Saudi prince, and they ended up eventually on Star Island at one of Diddy's parties. She says, you know, among many other things, I mean, she goes into detail. This, she says, happened in 2018. She says that she walked into the house and there was a cluster of adults around what she described as little people. And they were dressed up as Japanese Barbies. I forgot the name. It's Harak something. You can help me out here. It's a certain type of Barbie. Anyway.
I know the name, but I've forgotten it. But go ahead.
So she explained that that they were just clustered around these little people. And I kept pushing her. And she eventually said, look, they are little people who should not be at an adult party. And I pushed her, and it was apparent what she was saying is they were minors. Now, she didn't see anything specific that was going on with them other than that adults were kind of huddled around them. But she told just a wild story about what was going on at the house, even at 7 a.m, that this thing apparently raged all night long.
You know, it's amazing. TMZ always gets such great scoops, and this one might be one of your best as well. You got a hold of one of the freak-off tapes. Your producers have seen it. The description is, and I'll quote, "It's porn directed by Diddy himself." And a male sex worker really sort of walks through what happened in the experiences that he had. They didn't sound illegal, but they sure seem to comport with a lot of the other stories that have been told.
Yeah. So this was a threesome. What you would ask me about earlier about Tania Wallace, she said there were more than 100 people at that party, including at least 4 celebrities. But this, what you're talking about now, was a threesome, and that's something that the U.S. attorney even referenced, and his lawyer in an earlier documentary we did. He was describing threesomes. He says it was all consensual. So yes, what we're told is that this male sex worker was flown out to various locations over a couple of years: Miami, New York, Los Angeles, and one other.
Amid a storm of allegations and daily revelations linking celebrities to Sean Diddy Combs, only one major figure has publicly spoken out, and that's 50 Cent, known for his long-standing rivalry with Diddy dating back to the early 2000s. 50 has repeatedly criticized the music mogul and made explosive claims implicating Diddy in some of hip-hop's most notorious controversies, including the death of Biggie Smalls. His bold statements have thrust him into the center of an already volatile narrative, raising the stakes and forcing the public to confront questions that many in Hollywood would rather leave buried.
That, wait a minute, there were other people who were
signaling to us that something was very wrong with Diddy, and they were virtually just being laughed out of the room. One person who was always anti-Diddy and was always speaking about Diddy as a problematic person was 50 Cent. And it turns out that it's just been announced that he's created a docu-series on Netflix. I can't wait to see this. And he is saying that it's a complex narrative that spans decades, which we are obviously realizing this, which should really make it clear to you that Hollywood is a tremendous evil. Everybody colluded to protect these secrets. They all were aware of it, and few spoke out. So Netflix is producing the docuseries from Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent, about the charges of sex trafficking and racketeering, as well as sexual assault and violent abuse allegations against Diddy Combs. And Alexandria Stapleton will be directing the project. I will be definitively watching this. They describe this as a story with significant human impact. It's a complex narrative spanning decades, not just the headlines or the clips that we have seen so far. And 50 Cent is exclusively speaking to Variety, saying that he remains steadfast in his commitment to give a voice to the voiceless and to present authentic and nuanced perspectives. While the allegations are disturbing, we urge all to remember that Sean Combs' story is not the full story of hip hop and its culture. We aim to ensure that individual actions do not overshadow the culture's broader contributions. Now, I would actually beg to differ. I would beg to differ on this because, like I said, I read that book, Hollywood Babylon, and as it traced, and again, that was movie culture. So they were kind of getting into the beginning of film, silent films, and making it clear that it was the carnies, the carnival people, the freaks that established Hollywood. And they were creating characters, and these people were drug addicted, sex addicted, and essentially they turned them into stars on screen because in many ways, they wanted to emulate, mock, and destroy the church.
Allegedly, Sean Diddy Combs once showed personal interest in 50 Cent, even inviting him out on a shopping trip, an offer that 50 reportedly declined. Since that moment, 50 Cent has made a point of keeping his distance from Diddy, a stance fueled not only by their long-standing rivalry, but also by Diddy's controversial alleged connections to the deaths of Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls. These claims, though disputed, continue to feed a narrative of tension, secrecy, and power struggles at the very heart of hip-hop's most notorious conflicts. The only major figure speaking out about the alleged abuse taking place behind closed doors. Is it silence? Or is something far more sinister at play? According to numerous claims and reports, celebrities may fear confronting Diddy because of the sensitive information he allegedly possesses about them. Sources say Diddy had a habit of recording events at his parties, and some allege he used that footage to intimidate or blackmail attendees, even if they hadn't actually done anything wrong. Additional claims suggest that guests were sometimes drugged or manipulated, leaving them convinced they had participated in illicit acts. Whether fully verified or not, these allegations paint a chilling picture of power, control, and fear operating behind the glitz and glamour of Hollywood's elite.
Saw what he did to Cassie. With the kicking, the punching. They saw what they did to Cassie. They know that nobody in America liked that. So now, these people are represented by a brand. Whether it's something about the music, clothing, movies, they not gonna come out and speak on nothing that has anything to do with them, and they praying that they not on the tape doing crazy stuff, being oiled up in the whole 9 yards. They praying. So until the feds say, hey, yo, listen here. We got you on, hey buddy, we got you on this tape, and girl looked like she was pretty young. We're not gonna show it, but we need you to come and testify against Brother Love, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Combs. That's when they're gonna start talking. And they're not gonna be talking in his favor. When the feds come to them and show them what they got on tape, because if he had 250 tapes all over, 250 cameras all over the house, somebody got caught stealing a cookie out the cookie jar. It could be your favorite pastor. It could be your favorite politician. but they didn't think they was being watched. And Brother Love was watching.
Now that names are finally coming to light, everyone who attended Diddy's infamous parties, including celebrities, athletes, producers, and even members of British royalty, is reportedly on edge, anxious about what the allegedly leaked tapes might reveal. The exposure of these names has sent shockwaves through elite circles, raising urgent questions about who may be implicated and just how far this controversy could reach.
There are a lot of people in Hollywood who are probably worried about which Diddy parties they were at and what was going on. That's not to say that they were necessarily even involved in any of the things that are alleged by the U.S. Attorney's Office. But if you're at that party and it turns out that that's when he set up one of these freak-off sex parties, or that it was going on in another room and you didn't know about it, there's a good chance that you're going to be called by the U.S. Attorney's Office. And certainly if you were involved, you would get a call because they're going to want to know everything you want to know and may even want you to be a witness. I just think, we're just starting to scratch the surface of what this case, this case is going to touch and involve. And the feds have said that this remains an open investigation. There could be more charges for Diddy. There could be more charges for other people involved. And usually the way this works is once they find out other people are involved or were witnesses, they bring them in and they sort of lean on them. And it's sort of like, you're going to cooperate with us, or there's a possibility that you could face charges. So this is going to be a slow developing a case here because we're just getting started. And I don't see how this trial begins anytime before next.
As more victims step forward, a growing wave of lawsuits is being filed against Sean Diddy Combs. Houston-based attorney Tony Busby has reportedly initiated over 25 separate cases, and according to his firm, more than 1,000 alleged victims are coming forward, with their claims currently being authenticated. Most of these individuals are said to be minors who were allegedly coerced and manipulated by Diddy and other executives associated with bad boy records. These emerging lawsuits paint a chilling picture of an industry where power, influence, and intimidation may have been used to exploit some of its youngest and most vulnerable talents.
Another instance, another minor, told allegedly by Sean Combs that he would make him a star, but he needed to visit with him in private about it, away from his parents. Once they were in a private area, allegedly Mr. Combs made the victim perform oral sex upon him. Another incident, an individual 15 years old at the time, flown to New York City to attend a party, was drugged, and then taken into a private room, allegedly in the presence of Mr. Combs, where this female individual minor was raped, and then other individuals took turns raping her. Another individual, 26 at the time of the occurrence, was picked up allegedly by Mr. Combs and several other people in a black SUV from the airport, was given one drink in the SUV, and then literally woke up the next day not knowing what had happened, but with pain and damage to both her vagina and her anus, where she then went to the hospital. She was missing her underwear and her shoes. Another instance, an individual, this time not a minor, attended a group dinner, allegedly with Sean Combs in Miami. She wasn't drinking because she was pregnant, but whatever she drank at the table, apparently, at least according to her, was laced with something. She blacked out, and she woke up in the same bed, again, allegedly, with Mr. Combs in his mansion in Miami. Her vagina and her anus were torn and...
All of these executives are expected to be named in the upcoming wave of lawsuits, and once the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York officially files charges, their identities will be made public for the first time. This impending disclosure is set to expose the full scope of alleged wrongdoing, shining a spotlight on the individuals who may have participated in or enabled some of the most disturbing claims to emerge from the music industry in decades.